PNP leading in the polls, missing taxi driver feared dead, vendor shot and killed, while the top four in the Premier League has now been decided. This is Undiluted News, Mikey Bones reporting. The People's National Party, the PNP, now have a near 8% lead over the ruling Jamaica Labour Party. And this surge by the PNP was revealed in the latest Don Anderson poll commissioned by the PNP. With a commanding 36.8% for the PNP and 29% for the JLP, 1,057 registered voters who were interviewed indicated where their support would go if an election were to be called now. And this represents a 7.8% lead for the opposing party. 34% of respondents are either undecided at this time or do not intend to vote. Questions are being asked about the lack of movement by the Integrity Commission in its handling of the Prime Minister's statutory declarations, and the concern follows the oversight body recommendation that former People's National Party MP for Central Westmoreland, Dwayne Vaz, be charged for failing to provide the information required by the Director of Information and Complaints in 2019. In response, Mr. Vaz said on May 18 of 2021, the Commission confirmed that his statutory declaration up to December 31st of 2019 was completed. He also claimed that during the hearing on the matter on April 9th at the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, the lawyers representing the Integrity Commission indicated that they were unaware of the letter from the Commission certifying his declaration. Political commentator Lloyd B. Simmet contends that if Mr. Vaz's claim holds water, then the Commission's action could be labeled as being discriminatory, because they came down hard on this man very quickly, and so far Prime Minister Andrew Holness has not declared his own since 2021. So this is a case of hypocrisy. The St. Catherine police have widened their search for a missing taxi operator, Roshane Wilkins, and this was disclosed by Superintendent Hopton Nicholson, head of the St. Catherine North Police. Members of the Linstead Taxi Association joined the police on Monday to comb sections of Pleasant Hill in Sligoville for Mr. Wilkins, who was last seen alive on Friday night. Investigators suspect foul play in the disappearance of the taxi operator after the burnt remains of his car was found in a section of the community on Saturday night. As shoes and money were found near to the scene. Superintendent Nicholson said Mr. Wilkins has not been seen since he took up a charter allegedly to transport someone from the airport. He urged anyone with information on the disappearance of the taxi operator to contact the police. And the incident comes on the heels of last week's gun attack in the town of Linstead, which left a taxi operator dead and several passengers injured. The Manchester police now said that they are making progress in the murder of 2022 recipient of the Prime Minister's National Youth Award for Excellence in Agriculture, C.J. Cunningham. Mr. Cunningham was gunned down in the community of Davidtown in Manchester last Friday. Superintendent Kerry Duncan, commanding officer for Manchester, said that the investigation is progressing smoothly and the cops are following some very strong leads. According to the police, about 5:45 p.m. Friday, Mr. Cunningham, who was also a tiler by trade, and another man were engaged in tiling at a house under construction when a barrage of gunshots was heard inside the house. The police were called, and Mr. Cunningham was found with bullet wounds to the head and the other man a wound to the right thigh. Mr. Cunningham died at the scene. Meanwhile, 3 persons were injured in Retreat, Westmoreland on Monday morning after they came in contact with debris that was used to block the main road by residents protesting for water. The Retreat main road leads from Little London to Negril. An uprooted tree fell on a car, resulting in the driver being hospitalized in serious condition. And Member of Parliament for Westmoreland, Westernmoreland Wilson said a motorcyclist and his pedestrian rider were also injured in this accident. He said when they were cutting down the trees, apparently one of the trees fell on a car that was passing by, and that person is now in critical condition in hospital. A bike operator and his pillion rider, they also fell off after hitting into some of that same rubble. A Westmoreland businessman died as a result of injuries he received when the motorcycle he was riding collided with a cow along the Waterworks main road in Westmoreland on Friday night. He has been identified as 46-year-old Donathan Dillon of Shrewsbury District in the parish. Reports from the Whitton police are that Mr. Dillon was driving his blue Yama motorcycle along the roadway when he collided with a cow that walked into his path. The now deceased was flung from the bike. He was rushed to the Savlamar Public General Hospital where he succumbed to his injuries. Dillon would have celebrated his 47th birthday yesterday, April 29th. The parish of Westmoreland has been battling with cow-related incidents for some time now. A 39-year-old vendor was shot and killed by several unknown assailants on Bond Street in Kingston on Sunday. That is Leroy O'Sullivan of Tulip Lane, Kingston 14. Reports are that about 6 a.m. O'Sullivan was standing at his cart on Bond Street when a car drove up and several men alighted with handguns. The men opened gunfire at him, hitting him all over his body before speeding off in a motor vehicle. Lawmen were alerted to the scene and O'Sullivan was transported to hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. On to sports, Premier League. In a winner stay loser go home, Arnett Gardens sent home Portmore with a close 1-0 victory last night. Arnett will now face Cavaliers in the semi-finals on Monday. While in the night slate game, Waterhouse shocked Tivoli 2-0. Tivoli, who ended in third place, was expected to beat Waterhouse easily, but as they say, the ball is round, and it was definitely round, and shocked the Tivolites, ending their season. And Waterhouse will now face Mount Pleasant. Don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this station. If you missed the news, please go to YouTube, type in Jamerican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. That's news and sports on your favorite radio. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.